Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next edition of the SBA Alumni Files video series. My name is Sydney Hochstein. I'm the Director of Development here at SBA. And today I am joined by Dr. Caroline Zeind. She's a 1985 graduate of St. Bernard High School. And Dr. Zeind is now Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost at the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. So Dr. Zeind, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sydney. I'm really honored to be here today.
Yeah. So to start, I hoped that you could maybe just catch us up a little bit on the path that you took after graduating from SBA.
Sure. Well, I graduated, as you said, in 1985, so it's really hard to believe it's been about 35 years since I
Yeah.
graduated from SBA, and back then it was an all-girl high school.
Mhm.
And when I graduated, I decided to pursue pre-pharmacy studies at University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And I did that while earning a BA degree. And I really wanted to also study humanities and literature while I was also doing my pre-professional studies. So it was a great opportunity to have a really well-rounded education.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to go into healthcare and I wanted to be a pharmacist. And following that, I attended the University of Tennessee, Memphis College of Pharmacy and completed my Doctor of Pharmacy degree. Following that, I completed postdoctoral training at the Veteran Affairs Medical Center in Memphis. And after that, I moved to the Boston area because my family had moved to the Boston area while I was in graduate school. So my plan was to finish my training and then move to the Boston area. And my first job was at Tufts Medical Center. It was right in the Boston area.
Yeah.
And I was actually an adjunct professor for Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, which we now refer to as MCPHS University. So that was my journey following SBA. And since that period of time when I joined Tufts Medical Center, after about a year, an opportunity opened up for me to be a full-time professor at MCPHS University. So that was really my ultimate goal. And I joined the university and I've been there for about 25 years and it
Wow.
has gone by very quickly.
I'm sure. I'm sure it has. So I'm interested in, what inspired you to pursue a career in pharmacy and healthcare. Tell us more about that.
Sure. Well, when I was a child, I was really influenced by my father. He is an analytical chemist and he's a researcher. And I spent a lot of time with him, just going with him to work at times where he was in the chemistry lab. And so I was really interested in science. At the same time, I really liked humanities and I liked helping people. So, I think that really influenced me in terms of wanting to go into the science field, but at the same time wanting to work in healthcare so I could really, serve patients and make a difference in people's lives. The
Yeah.
other thing regarding SBA is that it really fostered and instilled in me a sense of purpose and really the call to social justice and responsibility and thinking about how I could make a difference in the world. So I really look at those core characteristics of SBA and I think it really helped me to figure out the direction I wanted to go and it gave me a path forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And, one of the tenets of the Sisters of Mercy, of course, is healing. And so that obviously, ties right into that as well, I'm sure.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
It was a very special experience at SBA, and I think that clearly we were given the opportunity to learn from our professors. The faculty were amazing, and there was also a lot of time for reflection, curricular and co-curricular experiences, and I think that really did make a difference. And I'm very grateful for those opportunities.
Yeah. Wonderful. So you've been, at the university now for 25 years. Is that what you said? Almost.
Yes,
So
yes.
tell us about your current role right now, as working in academic affairs and as the provost.
Sure. Well, it's been a very interesting journey. So right now, as in my current role, I am the Chief Academic Officer for the university. And when I started about 25 years ago, we had about 1,000 students at the university. We had one campus it's on our, right in the Longwood Medical area in Boston. So it's a really vibrant area for healthcare and research. And over the past couple of decades, we have expanded significantly. We now have 3 campuses,
Wow.
and we are in 2 different states, and we have over 7,000 students,
Wow, that's
and they're
incredible.
all focused in healthcare. So, I started off as a full-time professor, and I did not envision that I would go into an administrative role. I really liked teaching students, and I taught in so many different settings, the clinical setting, seminar, labs, large class, small class sizes, and it was really an incredible experience. And one of my deans at the time asked me, would you be interested in being a department chairman? Because there was an opening, and I started as an interim department chairman. And that was the beginning of my career in administration. And that has led me to my current role. It's been about 18 years that I have worked in administration. So as in my current role, it's a big responsibility, and I am very grateful because I have a whole team working with me within the provost office, all of the academic leaders, and really all the faculty. They're all part of the Office of Academic Affairs. So it's really a large collective group, and I get to work with all the key administrative units. So as provost, you really oversee all of the academic programs across the university, but you do it collectively with your team, with the
Yeah.
deans and directors, and the faculty are very engaged and committed to the students. So I feel it's such a privilege to be in this role, and it's every day I'm inspired by my students that we teach. That's what I currently do is really a lot of support for our academic programs, and really leading and guiding across the university with the Office of Academic Affairs.
Gotcha. So I know you said that administration wasn't something you really saw yourself doing, but as far as working in academic medicine as a professor, was that kind of always your end goal? Was that what you were most interested in doing?
Yes,
Yeah.
I really, I was drawn to academic healthcare, and I really wanted to be a professor, and my obviously passion for teaching is what brought me to
Yeah.
MCPHS University. And when that opportunity opened up to be a department chairman, and then I actually applied for the permanent position, and that was kind of that series of administrative roles that would
Mhm.
follow. I wasn't planning on doing it. And then I thought to myself, the only way you will know if you like academic administration is if you try it.
Right.
And I spoke to a number of mentors that have guided me along the way. And I thought that it was a great opportunity. And I ended up liking it, and it became a career path for me. So I think for one of the messages for students is to keep your options open, to be
Yeah.
flexible, and you never know what opportunities are out there,
Right.
and to try things and to not be fearful about it. But I think SBA really instilled that confidence in
Mhm.
me very early on as a
Yeah.
student. And I think that that sense of responsibility and social justice, all of those characteristics really influence me in all of the positions I've had. So again, it really goes back to SBA, and the wonderful experience that I had.
Yeah, it sounds like it was really foundational
It
in your day.
was.
Just, it was the starting, it was the what am I trying to say? The starting block for everything. So
It
that's
was. It was.
really nice to hear. It's incredible.
Yeah, it was a catalyst for me. I think that, as I was thinking of this interview, I've done so much reflection on SBA, and it really, I do that regularly because I think so many things come up, and I have these wonderful memories at SBA, and the faculty were amazing. And I think that, those experiences that we had, it was the curricular and the co-curricular, and the clubs and organizations. It was the reflective time that we had, the spiritual time. And I think back to the retreats that we had, they were all very special. And I really got to know my classmates in a way that you wouldn't get to know them otherwise when you have the retreats and the reflective time. And it was just a lot of fun. The sports were great. I tried a number of sports, ones that I, normally would not have tried. And it was a very well-rounded education.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my questions I was going to ask you was, if you had one or two like memories that really stuck out to you, what those would be, or, what were your favorite, things that you were involved in while you were at SBA?
Yeah, well, there were so many things I loved. I took 4 years of Latin, and really loved my teacher, the late Sally Schinker. She was amazing, and I was part of the Junior Classical League. And I remember, just great memories from being part of the Junior Classical League, and just being with my classmates. And it was, there were many activities that were incorporated within the program. We actually went to go see some films as a class. We went to go see Gandhi, Chariots of Fire. So those were wonderful memories, because it's not that we just went to see the film. We actually talked about it. It was part of our discussion in courses. So those are things that really stand out, that were special, and I think really meant a lot to me.
Great. Awesome. So you kind of talked a little bit about this already, but in what ways do you feel like SBA really prepared you for the next step?
Really, as we talked about, it grounded me. It was the nurturing, supportive environment
Yeah.
that really, I think, made a tremendous difference.
Yeah.
The faculty were so supportive of each one of us as an individual. And I think sometimes in high school, it's hard for students, because they kind of feel like they're lost in a big group. And we were always, you know, there was a focus on helping each one of us and really cultivating our strengths, what we were interested in. There seemed to be something for everyone at
Mhm.
SBA,
Yeah.
whether you were drawn to the arts or you were drawn to the sciences. I think it was important that you get a well-rounded education, because it's important in society, whether you go into the arts or the sciences. I really think for me, what helped me was really kind of that well-rounded um, health humanities type of approach to my own education that would follow after SBA. And I was really drawn to that because I got such a great experience at SBA. And that was because of the curriculum, the way it was designed, and all of the co-curricular activities that were part of the program.
Yeah. Great. I think my favorite part of doing these interviews is learning, first of all, where our alumni are going and all the great things they've done. But second, hearing about how SBA sort of helped them on their path. And so it's just so fun to hear about that. Um, my last question for you, and you already gave one good piece of advice to today's students. Is there any other pieces of advice that you would give to them?
I think that for students today, I think that society, when you um, really look at the media, today, there's a lot of emphasis on competitiveness. And there's so much outside of our world today that we hear about or we experience that seems chaotic. And I think it's really important for students to recognize that education is a powerful tool. And for me, I think it's just been so important to find ways to help others along your journey. I think that's a key message for students. And because I think it's easy to kind of go down a path where it's society is it's challenging, it's competitive, and I think sometimes it's easy to just focus on yourself. But I think for me, what has really helped me throughout my journey is finding ways to help others, and when you do that, it's very rewarding,
Yeah.
and you also learn a lot about yourself. So for me, for example, when I left SBA and I was in college, I had some classmates that were having some challenges with their specific courses that we were taking. So I started a study group and we just opened it up, and the study group just kept growing in size, and we were learning from each other. Um, what I didn't realize is that that was kind of an early form of teaching for me because I love to
Yeah.
teach.
Yeah.
And I learned something about myself, but I was doing it because I wanted to help others. And I think we all have talents and gifts, and I think we need to just find ways to utilize that, whether you're a great listener or whether you're an outgoing person and you can volunteer, but finding ways to help others. I think that to me, that's what makes life so interesting. And it's opened up many doors for me
Yeah.
that otherwise would not have been there. But it's really about giving back to others. So that's my advice.
Yeah, that's great advice. I hope that our students who watch this take that to heart. So, well, Dr. Zen, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us a little bit about yourself, where you went after SBA, and sharing a little bit of your memories from your time here. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Sydney. I wish everyone at SBA great success, and I'm so honored to be part of the SBA community.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.